First of all, I would love to ask you guys respectfully and kindly. I know I've gotten some message in the chat that you guys are driving or not in an office, you can't turn your camera on. But for me, if you guys would turn your camera on, I would greatly appreciate it just so I can see who's on here and I can interact with you guys. It's just from a speaker standpoint, it's just a lot better when you can see people versus having just a bunch of black boxes with names in it. So I really, really appreciate you guys doing that for me. Um, and so I'm really excited. This is actually something that I enjoy doing a lot, is impacting people's lives and making people think different. And I get to do it with my kids, which is amazing. Sorry, my daughter just did a presentation for me before this call. Excuse me. Um, and you never know what your kids are thinking until there's a moment where they have to present. And she made me these two bracelets in her presentation that says calm and peace. And sorry, she said the reason why is because I bring calm and peace into her life and she always feels safe and secure. And that's my biggest job with her. And the fact that she made me a bracelet saying those things, like, and I'm doing my job is just profound and amazing to me, And so I just come on here a little emotional today because I wasn't expecting that, like she gave me these bracelets and explained why. So and I'm just so happy to be here with you guys and hopefully do the same thing that I can do for my kids on a daily basis and give you guys some kind of calm and peace about what you're doing in this business and the direction that you're going in. So I want to start this off with where we should begin every single day of our life, and that is with the right mindset. This 90-day massive action plan that I'm giving you guys is 150% all about mindset. And it all starts the moment that you wake up before your feet even hit the ground. And there's this voice in our head, this voice that starts talking to you immediately when you wake up and come to. And most of the time, that voice is always lying to you. It's telling you, I'm still tired. I'm stressed. I've got so much to do today. How am I going to get everything done today? And that voice, I always just call this voice for years, this routine liar that just lies to me every single day that I wake up. And it's pre-programmed. It's a pre-programmed narrative that you've trained yourself to believe. But the truth is, you're in control of that voice. But we let that voice control us every single day because we don't have a strong mindset. And I'm going to give you guys a couple exercises that will help you flip that script the moment you wake up. And this is my script every morning I wake up because I wake up with that voice too, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have, that devil and that angel and telling myself that I'm tired or I'm stressed or I've got so much to do today. But what I do, the first thing I do, and I say this out loud softly because my wife is next to me, I always just say, this is going to be a great day. And I say that 3 or 4 times to myself. And then I also say I'm so grateful that I get another day with my kids, my wife, and a chance to impact lives. And that's what I repeat to myself every single day that I wake up. And it immediately changes my state. It immediately puts me in this excited to be alive because I got another day. Because we never know if we're going to get another day. We never know what's going to happen. We never know if we're going to wake up with an illness. And the fact that I wake up feeling good, that's what I focus on. And I get up right in that moment. I don't hit snooze because then the mind's going to start going. I don't lie there with my eyes closed because that is lying there awake is the worst possible thing that you could do to start any day. It gives that little liar a huge, big chance to grow louder and louder and louder. And it will take you down these dark roads. And listen, I'm speaking from experience. I've had this voice a lot of my life. And then that road that is taking you down is going to sabotage your entire day. And then you've lost a day before it even starts. And the other thing I want to bring to you guys' awareness is the language that you use with yourself. 15 years ago, you guys, I went through this deep subconscious training. Let me put this on speaker for recording. I went through this deep subconscious training. And there were two game-changing things that I learned. And this was back in 2008. And that is there's a record playing in your voice constantly. It's called the already always listening voice. This voice that's programmed, it's this record player that plays the same thing over and over and over. It's called the subconscious. In the subconscious, we have 44,000 subconscious thoughts a day. When you drive down the road and you go somewhere, your mind is constantly switching. Your mind is constantly triggering things from the past, fears in the future. And you have to be able to control that voice. And that voice is shaped by your past. It's shaped by your parents, exes, mentors, even your environment, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, or what you're around, what news you're watching, what you're watching on social media, what you're consuming. And unless you constantly shut that record off, you take that needle off. And for the people that are here, know what a needle is. That's a record. We used to put a needle on it for us older folks. You lift that arm up and shut that record up. Because if you don't do it, it's going to keep running and, more importantly, ruining your life. Language is everything, you guys. Language gives meaning to your entire world. That language you use with yourself, the language that you say to yourself every day, the language you use with your kids, the language you use with your husband, the language you use with your brand partners, it gives meaning to everything. Life is empty and meaningless. That's what I learned in this course. And everyone in there, especially the religious, were like, what do you mean it's empty and meaningless? That's not what I've learned my whole life. But what it means is life is the meaning you give it with the language that you use, the language you choose to use. So if you choose to use negative language, that's what your life is going to be. You have to learn to speak a different language to yourself every single day. You're not going to be able to speak to the world, your team, your kids, your husband in a proper way that's going to be impactful if you don't even know how to speak to yourself. So hear me when I say this. What you say you can do and what you say you can't do, you are exactly right. There's nothing else that's going to convince you. There's nothing that I can say today. If you believe you can't do something, if you believe that you can't get to SPD, if you believe that you can't have a happy marriage, if you believe that you can't provide the dream life for yourself and for your kids, there's nothing I can say. And so what I would say to you is remove the word can't from your vocabulary. My daughter used to say this word when she was 3 years old. And now if it slips out of her mouth, she's like immediately like, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean can't. Because can't shouldn't be in your vocabulary because anything and everything is possible in your life. And let's apply that to this business. What you believe you could create in the next 90 days when we go through this process, you're right. As I go through things and I teach you things, you can sit in the back of your mind and be like, yeah, I'll never be able to do that. That's not me. That's not going to happen. I can't accomplish that. Because whatever you believe is possible through the strategies that I'm going to teach you. You're right. If you come into this thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this happen, you're going to be the one that has the biggest transformation. And that's why I need you guys to be very intentional about the words you use, because manifestation is real. It is a real thing. You could call it hokey, you could call it whatever, but whatever you tell yourself is what is true. And it starts with the conversations you're having with yourself when no one is watching. Because those conversations go off in your head. You know, we see someone walking down the street having a conversation with themselves, and we think they're crazy. We're like, how could that person be talking to themselves like that? They're just doing it out loud. You do it all day long. You're just not expressing it out loud. We have that conversation all day long. That person walking down the street saying things to themselves, you do the same exact thing. You're not crazy. That's just a habit. So if you're going to do that all day long, if you're going to have 44,000 subconscious thoughts a day, they should be great thoughts. So as we dive further into this challenge, into this opportunity to change your guy's life, I want you to keep asking yourself this question. What am I manifesting through my language? Because that, my friends, is the foundation of everything. The language and what you speak to yourself every single day is what's going to dictate what your future looks like. So let's do a quick review of last week. I want a couple of you guys to share what your why with the whole group. I want other people to hear your why. And I'm going to share mine first for the ones that haven't done it yet so that you can do this very, very important step. This is the most important thing, you guys. It's going to drive every single thing in your life. If you don't have a why, or if it's not a powerful why, you're not going to get where you want to go. We didn't share these last week, but I want to share a couple of them this week. Not take too much time, but I want to hear from you guys. I don't want just to be a rambling mess the whole time and you guys just hear me talking. I want you guys to hear from other people because we can learn from everyone. So my why is spend the most time that I can with my kids and my wife, because what I know every day, God is telling people to tell me this all the time. It doesn't matter where I go with my kids. People feel compelled to tell me, enjoy every moment because it goes so fast. I hear it literally every single time I go out with my family. Someone feels compelled to come tell me this. And so every day I'm reminded, and because it's God telling me, enjoy every single moment. Don't get frustrated. My daughter and I had a conversation last night. We were reading, and she sometimes doesn't listen. And sometimes I get a little frustrated, and she thinks I'm upset or I'm mad. So I had to break down for her that I'm never going to be mad at you, and I'm never going to be upset with you. I'll only be frustrated with you. And so she said, what does that mean? I was like, frustrated is here, upset's here, and mad is here. The only thing that's ever going to make me mad at you is if you lie to me. But I'm never going to be mad at you. I'm not going to waste that energy on being upset or mad with you. Frustrated, it's going to happen if you're not listening. But I'm never going to be mad or upset. And so I want to make sure that I spend as much time. That's my why. I'm going to build every business, every activity, every system and process, every SOP based on the fact that it's not going to affect my life with my family. The second thing is I want to leave a legacy for my kids so that they can leave a legacy for theirs. I want to pass that on. I want to give my kids, and not just money. I want to leave a legacy of mindset. I want to leave a legacy of how to treat people, how to be kind with people, how to help people, because we need more of that in this world. My why is I want to travel with my family and I want them to appreciate their life that we have right now and see other cultures. Because I feel like whenever we travel, for me, I appreciate where I live. I appreciate my life because not everyone is as lucky as I am. And I want them to feel the same way because I feel like if you don't, or you're not grateful and you're not appreciative for things in life, then you could kind of lose track of your why or what's important. I want to help as many people possible realize that they have more in them than what they think. We all have the same capacity. We all have the same ability. Every single person on this call, there is nothing special about me. Besides, I have implemented this plan that I'm sharing with you guys. I have discipline. I do the things that I don't feel like doing when I don't want to do them. I do them because I know what that's going to do for me. I want to empower everyone I come in contact with. I want to change people's mindset. That's why I love doing this class. That's why I love showing up to this. Because if one person on here changes the way that they lead their life, then I'm fulfilled. And so that's what I want to create. So I want a couple of you guys to raise your hand and I want you guys to share your why with the rest of the group. Don't be shy. Your why is not my why. Your why should match nobody else's why on here. Okay? It's your why. So I want to hear. Thank you, Kylie.
Hi, guys.
Hello. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My why is definitely for my family and just having time freedom with them. That's really important to me. We started homeschooling a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of on that journey already where I get to be home with my kids, but just being able to impact them and leave a legacy for them, travel with my family as well. Those are all things that are super important to me.
Awesome. That's amazing. We're homeschooling our kids too, and it's the best gift
It is.
ever. Now, we're not actually teaching. We have someone coming in the household. I shared this with you guys in Destin. Like the fact that we have a business that can afford us to bring someone in and teach our daughter, and we can actually control, what's going into their head and safety and all these other things. It's just the best gift ever. So I definitely can relate with you, Callie, on that. It's such an important factor that next year we're going to start teaching her entrepreneurs and stock market and real estate and stuff at a
Yeah.
very young age that really matters to with what we're doing in our life and what would interest them. So thank you for sharing that. Yanetsi,
Hi, Jane.
Hello, Yanetsi. You're
Good.
not in a car.
Finally, right?
I
You got me in business
almost didn't
hours.
recognize you.
You got me in business hours. Yes, this is a good time for me not to be driving. Um, okay, going over my why. I was driven into becoming a speech pathologist, especially for children, because I was raised in Cuba, and in Cuba, adults used to tell you all the time as a child when an adult speaks, a kid basically shuts up and you can speak your mind. And that always motivated me to give a voice and power to children. And now that I'm gonna be a mom, it's my it's my mission to give this girl a voice. Sorry, guys.
Don't be sorry.
I'm hormonal. So my why is to raise a daughter that she's independent, confident, and a woman that is always able to speak in her mind and is never afraid.
That's a really powerful why. It's a very powerful why, Yanetsi. You could see, right? I mean, when it moves you like that, that's a powerful why, and that's what it's all about. So great job. Okay, so guys, just for sake of time, I'm going to go to the next thing. I just want people to hear a couple of these. The next thing I want to share real quick is accountability partners. Okay, so I want a couple of you to share your accountability partners. With accountability partners, I want to share what mine are or who mine are. Mine are very simple. Luna and Sky are my accountability partners. Um, my wife, leaders on my team, my upline, Kyle and Joey Kimbrough, my mentor, Chris Burke, my friends that I brought into this business and promised them, what the opportunity is and what it looks like. Those are the people that are my accountability partners that, I am telling constantly what I'm doing. Kyle and Joey in here, I keep telling Kyle on a weekly basis, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to accomplish because I know Kyle's going to follow up with me and Joey's going to follow up with me to make sure that I deliver on that. So those are my accountability partners. I'd like to hear a few of your guys' accountability partners, if you guys be willing to share like who you've chose over the last 2 weeks to be your accountability partner. So who would like to share? If you guys would just raise your hand, that would be awesome. Does that mean nobody has got any accountability partners? Kelsey says 3, my downline managers and husband and kids. Okay, Raquel.
Hi, everyone. So I have the people from Destin, Florida, our house. We made a chat. So we have accountability partners there with some of the girls and some of the guys from the house that we connected so well. And we each put in our why, our numbers, our snowflake success.
Nice. That's exactly what you're
Um,
supposed to do. So good, Raquel.
yeah, so we share our wins, our losses, we share our and that, and then my kids as well.
Awesome. So good. Sarah.
Hey, hi everybody. So first probably I'd say Crystal, my sponsor. And I love that because we have a little joke and she sings Lean on Me in my inbox if I need something. But I told her I gave her permission to push me. And my brother is a veteran who has he's struggled with PTSD, and that's something him and I are working on together. So for me to get a freedom in my life that shows him he can do it too, he's in that place where he's about to cross over. And I need to do that for him because that's my nieces and nephews. And really that's all the military that's behind him too. So I'm doing this for those, I say, prisoners of war in their mindset. We are a team to link arms to show them how to get set free too. Because like you said, it's in your mind, and my kids, of course. So I got Crystal on the top. I'm sandwiched in the middle. My dad and my brother are underneath me, and my kids, of course. So
Right. Kids are a very, very powerful accountability partner. I mean, I think, the fear of letting them down, I think for me is, the worst. That's why I got a little emotional today because, when you are constantly telling your kids that your biggest job is to protect them, and then your daughter's two words that describes you is peace and calm. I can't think of two better things that I could give my kids is to give them the peace and calm in their life, because with everything going on in the world, that's usually the furthest thing for people's minds. So kids are amazing accountability partners. So I'm glad that you guys chose those. Well, so I wanted to share my success snowflake and then have a couple of you guys share your success snowflake. I'm just trying to keep this on time because we have to end at 3. I have a meeting and then also the interpreter's got to go. So I just want to share mine because if you guys haven't created yours, create them this week, right? So just sit down and this takes some time, you guys. It takes maybe 10, 15 minutes for you guys to sit down. But for me, my success, like what success means to me is I want to spend as much time as I want with my kids and wife. I don't want to be limited. I don't want to have to be controlled by anything. If I want to spend the morning with them, the evening with them, the weekends with them, vacations with them, I want to be able, that's why I put them in homeschool. Because when we travel for work, I want them to go with me. I don't want them to stay here for 5 or 6 days. So that's success is being able to take my kids and my family wherever I go. I want to impact one life every single day for 365 days. That means 365 days every year, I'm going to be impacting lives. That means 7,000 people in 20 years that I've had some kind of impact on and touched them in some kind of way. I want to be an example of excellence to my children. I want them to see everything I do and everything I spend time on has excellence, and I won't accept anything else except that from them. I want to go on 4 vacations every single year, undistracted with my family. And I know a lot of you think that seems like a lot because I have a business, I have this, I have to do this. Like that's really possible for me to do. I'm just going to make this statement to you that my mentor made a statement to me. He said, if you can't spend 4 weeks with your family undistracted a year, you don't have a business, you have a job. Because if the business is going to fail because you're off for a week, you don't have a business. Number 5, I want to be in my best shape always. I am 51 years old. I have kids that are 7 and 4. I need to be in the best shape possible because I need to run around the backyard with them. I need to golf with my 2 little girls. I need to be able to go play soccer with them. I need to be in my best shape. I cannot say, oh, I've got an injury. I can't do this. I can't do that. I will tell you, when Kyle Kimbrough brought this to me, one of the biggest things he said to me that just impacted me, and if you've not met his kids, him and Joey Kimbrough have 2 of the most amazing children I've met in my entire life. And his big thing was, I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to be able to play tennis with my kids. I want to be able to play with my son basketball. And that was his big why. That was why he joined this business and he had this big impact on his life is because he can actually play ball with his kids again. Number 6, I want to build an empire with my wife. I want to have a peace of mind with money. I don't want to have to worry about money. I don't have to look at the price tags of things. I don't want to, if the homeschool teacher says it's going to be $4,500 a month. Okay, cool, whatever. What's important is I want my kids home with me. I want to get 1% better every single day. If I'm not improving, I'm dying. I want to write 3 more books. For me, that's success, being able to leave a legacy for my kids in my mind. So I want you guys to share. If you guys have a success snowflake, I want to hear from you. So if there's 1 or 2 of you that want to share, I want to hear that. I want other people to hear that because again, my success, remember, has nothing to do with your success. Don't compare my success or your success to anybody else's success. Don't let anybody ever influence what success and the definition of success means to you. And don't ever let anybody take away from what your definition of success is. Because it doesn't matter. You have to live in the space that is your space, not anybody else's space. So who wants to share that? Nobody? Okay, if nobody shares, I'm going to ask this question next week. Because this is a really important factor, you guys. We started off with this, and I want people to hear from you.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
This
share.
is also okay,
Oh.
Shannon, thank you.
Hi. Okay, so tell me the question again.
What your success snowflake, like what does success look like for you?
Okay,
So
success.
like if you could write, down and say, okay, I'm successful if I do this, this is what it means to you. So what are 3, 4, 5 things that, you know, if you accomplish these things, you would say, you know what, I'm successful in this life?
For me, the number one thing is if I could help people and get paid for it. So if I could do exactly what I love to do, but make an income with it, that's number one for me. And I love helping people. The second thing would be because I was a stay-at-home mom my whole life. I'm 55 and we've had 5 children. And I'm not
Wow.
devaluing
Congratulations.
thank you. I'm not devaluing stay-at-home moms. But sometimes when your husband is working, you feel like you don't have anything. Like it feels like you're like, hey, honey, could I like have some money to go here? Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it would be really awesome for me to show even my adult children that it doesn't matter how old you are. Like if you have a dream, you can do it. Like, and they poo poo me all the time, like, oh, mom's up to this now. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna show you I can be successful at 55, even though I spent my whole life at home raising you guys. That's like for me, you know?
Okay, so can I just say something to you,
Okay,
Shannon?
sure.
So I would tell you that success is exactly what you accomplished. Your job, raising 5 kids, is the hardest job on the planet. Like that is a job that not many people men are good at, that could do. And so the fact that you did that, you need to give yourself some credit because that is an amazing feat to raise 5 children into amazing people. And so I would say you're already really, really successful. And then if you want to add to things that are going to make you feel successful, but I got to tell you, Shannon, like that is you've accomplished more than a lot of people have accomplished in this lifetime to raise 5 kids, and spend that time with them and be with them. And, you know, going to the next level, like Success Snowflake, you guys can change, right? It could change through your life. It can evolve through your life, but I would just, you know, give yourself a huge pat on the back for that huge feat of raising 5 children, is an amazing feat and so proud of you. And just know that not many people can do that. And then still have this drive and desire. So I would say to you, if you were able to accomplish that, the world is your oyster, my friend. You can do anything if you can accomplish that.
Okay, thanks. Somehow I lost my picture, but yeah. No, thanks. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Someone go.
So one more. Who wants to go? Go ahead, Malia.
Aloha, everyone. It's
Aloha.
Malia. Um, it's so great to see everyone. I am not in Hawaii. I'm still traveling and in a cold place. And
I
it's
was gonna
great to
say,
see all of
I've
you.
never seen anybody in Hawaii wear a toboggan.
But I'm really happy to be here, and I don't have accountability buddies yet. I would love to be in a team of folks. That would be totally amazing. And I am here to serve in the way that I came here for, which is at the most powerful level, our connecting to each other and to source and to being in the full abundance and prosperity and living our best lives. So it's all about, for me, helping people heal health-wise, and bringing the prosperity, codes, and being in connection with people and in communication with people, because we are all connected, and there's so much happening in this life, and everyone's running their families and their businesses and their lives. And so being in the celebration of the divine and being connected to each other is everything. And so that is what I'm here for. And I love you all.
Awesome.
Aloha.
Well, Malia, Cindy Morgan said that you can join them and their
Yes.
accountability group. So,
Yay, Cindy.
and then
Love you
Mary
all.
Ann said the same thing. I know you're on your phone, so just look through
Great,
the chats
thanks.
and maybe reach out to those people and
Okay.
become a part of it. I think that would be amazing.
Okay, thank
All
you
right,
so
guys.
much.
So we've discussed last week, we discussed defining your why, defining your success snowflake, defining your core values. I hope you guys sat down, looked through that list, because remember, core values are the things that you believe in no matter what and no matter when. They're your values that allow you to evaluate every single situation evaluate every single person and every single decision. Your core values are your brand. Remember, like this is what people, they look at you and they can tell you what your core values are. They are your brand. And it makes it extremely, extremely easy to make all the decisions that you need to make in your life. So that's why it's such an important factor. If you haven't done the work to decide what those are, and then after you do the work to decide what they are, you need to make sure that you're utilizing them every single day. And you're passing everything through that filter. And so the next thing we covered was the accountability partners, what we just talked about, and the importance of also giving them the permission to hold you accountable. The young lady that was talked about, the person on her team, giving that person permission. If you're falling off the wagon, if you're not doing what you said you're going to do, then they're able to call you out on that. All right. And today, since we opened up with mindset, what I wanted to add to this week is making that daily decision that you're going to do the necessary things to transform your life. It's a decision, you guys. But the key is it's an every single day decision. When your feet hit the floor, it's a decision that you're going to do that. It's not now and never will be a one-time decision. Nothing in life is, right? If you're going to be faithful in your marriage, if you're going to be a great father or a great mother, it's a daily decision because there's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be things that come in the way. So when you wake up in the morning, you have to make that decision that you're going to execute on that and do whatever it takes, especially when you don't feel like it. Because 99% of the time, we don't feel like doing the things that it's going to take. But that's the exact moment, you guys. That's the exact moment that you should always do everything. That moment that you're like, oh, I'm going to procrastinate. I don't really feel like doing it right now. I'm going to do it in an hour. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next week. Don't do that. Do it right now. Because discipline is doing something when you don't feel like it. That's what discipline is. Discipline is not doing something when you feel like it. It's doing something when you don't feel like it. And discipline, it's gonna seem painful sometimes because it's like, oh God, I don't want to do it. I want to eat that cookie. I want to eat all that pasta. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go for a run. But I'm going to tell you this, the regret and the loss of time to get where you want to go is going to be a lot heavier. So much heavier. It lasts and it looms over you for a very long time. And once you do what you don't feel like doing, just try this, you guys. Once you do what you don't feel like doing, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to create momentum, which evolves into impetus. And impetus keeps you going up the hills. Momentum, if you're going down a hill, yeah, you're going to go with momentum. And then when you get to the bottom, you're going to stop. But impetus helps you climb those hills because life is peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys. Nothing is forever. Nothing. It doesn't matter. In a marriage, there's peaks and valleys. There's going to be misunderstandings. There's going to be frustration. There's going to be stress. But if you do the things in your marriage and have discipline in your marriage, when you have those valleys, you're going to be able to get through them because you understand that it's just a valley and the peak is coming. You guys, momentum only lasts for a short time. So when you're in momentum, what happens is people get lazy. They're like, oh, we're going. And they take off the gas. They let up. When you live off just momentum, when you get to the bottom, you're going to stay at the bottom. And then what happens is you're going to give up because it's too much work. It's too much discipline to go up. But discipline will prevent this. So make a decision every single day that you are going to do what's hard and create impetus in your life and stop living with regret because that regret is going to loom and it's going to be heavy. So the next thing I want to talk to you about in this 90-day massive action plan, and this has transformed my life forever. It's not an option in my life. It's a non-negotiable. It will never change because I've seen the transformation. My wife has seen the transformation. My kids know what my morning routine is. Show me your morning routine, and I will show you how successful you are. I will show you how happy you are. I will show you how productive you are. I will show you how stressed out you are. It's literally everything. This morning I was in the gym and my brother called me. And I'm just always interested in how people live their life, right? My brother and I have really never talked about this because we're so different. I mean, we were different from birth. Like school was easy for me. School was really difficult for my brother. Like everything that you could think about and opposite my brother and I were. Like my mom sat down with us one time, and this is just a funny story to make you laugh. But one time my mom sat down with my brother and I at the same time, and she said, I got to have a conversation with you guys. And she said, Jay, you only need to change your underwear once a day. You don't need to change them 3 times a day. And Dave, you need to change your underwear more than once a week. Because she was doing laundry, and I would have 20 pairs of underwear, and he would have 2. We were so different in every single thing, in every aspect of our life, and we still are today. So I just asked him, I said, so what time do you go to sleep? What time do you get up? And he said, I get up at 6:30. I was like, what time do you leave for work? 6:45. You wake up at 6:30 and you leave the house by 6:45. Like, what do you eat? Do you go to the bathroom? Like, how do you do that? And he was like, yeah, but I just get in my car and go to work. And I'm like half asleep. And so I just started talking about my morning routine. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, what I'm going to share with you, if you can execute this, I promise you it will change your life forever. And I know it's change. Everything that we're talking about, this massive action means massive change. You got to change your habits to change your life. Most people's habits are not great. And if you could work on your habits and change the way you start your day, it's going to make your day way, way better. And what I'm going to share with you is you could do a short version of it, okay? When I wake up, the first thing I do is I meditate, okay? You meditate, you pray, whatever you want to do first thing in the morning. Now, I meditate for 20 minutes. You can meditate for 5 minutes. You can pray for 5 minutes. I read every single day. I read 90 pages every single day. Start with 7. Start with 10. It'll take you 10, 15 minutes to do that. I write for 45 minutes every single morning. I'm writing books. I journal. I write for 45 minutes. Write for 5 minutes. Just write your thoughts down. Write what you're grateful for that day. Write what you're going to accomplish that day. Write what made you smile yesterday. Write who made you laugh yesterday. Whatever it is, just write it down. There was a lady that I met at Destin, and she said she's got, 40 journals. She wants to write a book. It's healthy to write. Morning light. I go for a walk every single morning for 40 minutes. I walk 3.5 miles because I want morning light in my eyes. I want to reset my circadian rhythm every single day. I want to make sure I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm up by 6 o'clock because that's what our bodies are meant to do. But go for a walk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Just get outside and feel the fresh air and look at the sun. I ground for 10 minutes every day. Ground for 3. Go out and walk in the grass for 3 minutes. I work out for an hour every single day. Work out for 10 minutes. You don't have to go to a gym. You could do body squats. You could do push-ups. There's a lot of exercises. Go on to YouTube and say no weight workout. And you could do it right in your house, right next to your bed. Like, don't make excuses. I don't have time to go to the gym. You have time to take care of your body. I do the sauna for 20 minutes every day. Do the sauna for 5, 7. And I know a lot of you are saying, I don't have that kind of time in the morning. I'm going to tell you this, you guys. I run 8 businesses. I have 2 small kids. I have a wife. I have the same exact time that you do. But I made a decision. I'm telling you, this changes your life. I'm giving you a cheat code. You can make excuses, or you can say, let me give this a try. But I'm going to tell you, I hate the word try. Can't and try are not words in my vocabulary. The only word in my vocabulary is I will. Because try means you're not going to do it. Try means I'll give it a shot, but it's probably not going to work. Just commit. There's nothing more important than taking this time for yourself. Being selfish is the best thing that you can do in the morning. My wife, in the beginning, was so lost. Like, you're going to take 2.5 hours every single day. Yeah, I'm going to do some of it while you're sleeping, but I'm going to do this for me every single day because I'm going to be a better version for you. And she's like, I just can't believe you're going to take 2.5 hours every day. Yes, I'm going to take 2.5 hours. And she started seeing a transformation. And now it's not an option. If she doesn't see me doing it, she's going to be like, I'm not, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you going through your daily process? So if you add up everything that I just told you guys, if you do a smaller version of it, 60 minutes, you guys can give yourself 60 minutes every day that's just dedicated to you. If that means you got to wake up an hour earlier, then go to bed an hour earlier. But this investment in you is the best investment that you'll ever make in your entire life. I spend 2.5 hours every day on me. And my wife requires me to do this. This is a non-negotiable requirement in my household because she does the same thing now. We read together. We meditate together. We work out together. We go for a walk together. We ground together every single day. Because how you start your day is how your day is going to be. So the next 2 weeks before this, I would love for you guys to just try this. Again, if it's 5 minutes in each section, but just taking time to you. If your kids have to go to school at 7, get up at 5:30. When they go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, go to bed. Get to sleep so that you can pour into yourself every single day. So the next time that we talk in 2 weeks, I want to hear from you guys who have tried this. Now, I've been doing this morning routine since my mentor came into my life. I've been doing this since 2012. So I'm in my 13th year doing this. And when people ask me, what's the number one reason for my success? It's 2 reasons. I get 7 hours of sleep every single night, at least, sometimes 8. I got 8:02 last night, and in my morning routine. It's that simple. So I want you guys to try that this week. And again, like in the beginning, if you're saying, I can't do that, there's no reason, I don't have time in my day, you're not going to find a way to be successful in your life. You're going to find every way not to be. So also next week, I want you guys to share your numbers. I want you guys to have numbers ready for me and for yourself, more importantly, on how much you want to make every single month. And then I want to know what you want in the bank. And I want you to do that computation that Lola said. I'm going to share it with you guys one more time. You guys can watch this recording. But whatever you want to make every single month when you want your account, you need to figure out what that annual rate is. And then what you need to have in the bank, you need to figure out that number. If it's 10 million times 5% minus 23% divided by 12, if that number is going to get you to your monthly amount. Because when you retire or when you stop working, you don't want to make less money. So I want you to work on this number. The other thing I want you guys to work on is I want you to ask other people this question. And what I want you to pay attention to is how many people don't know their number. It's not in their mind. They have no idea. And that's why people never get what they want, because they don't know what they want. But I want you to go through this exercise with people and just start a conversation with people about this. Okay? And so the other thing that I want you guys to start thinking about over the next month and a half is once you've created your success snowflake and you've created your why and you have your number, I want you to start working on your 90-day goals from the success snowflake, from the why, from your numbers, and what you want to accomplish in the next 90 days. Okay? Now, understand, in the next 90 days, you're not going to be driving a Bugatti. You're not going to buy a $25 million house. right? What do you want to accomplish in the next 90 days? And I want you to start thinking about that. I want you to start writing that down. It could be personal, it could be business at LifeWave, it could be within another one of your businesses, but whatever that is, I want you to start writing that down because I want to, by the end of this, create a vision board through photocollage.com. And I want you to go out on the internet and find images of what you want to accomplish in the next 90 days. And by the end of this, I want to share that with people on this call. I want you to share your board and tell your story. And then I want that board saved to your phone. I want that board saved to your screensaver on your computer. I want that board hanging on your refrigerator in front of your kids in your house. I want it hanging on your mirror in your bathroom, and I want you to look at it every single day. That's going to be the ultimate, but I want you to start thinking about that now as you're going through, because a lot of things are going to come up when you're creating your success snowflake, when you're figuring out what you want your number to be, when you're asking other people what they want their number to be. That's why we're going through all of this. So to recap today, you got to make a decision every single day. 1, to manage your mind, and 2, to execute. And then you got to start a morning routine. It can't just be jump out of bed, run into your day, and be behind all day, be stressed out all day. And number 3, you got to manage your mind. You got to manage that record playing over and over and over again in your head. And until you get control of that, until you get rid of the excuses, until you interject discipline into your life, nothing's going to change, you guys. Now, I know this seems like a lot. I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but I covered a lot of what we covered last week. I added 2 things this week. If you're a little behind because you didn't execute on those things, that's okay. Let's just spend some time this week. Maybe it's 10 minutes a day. Maybe it's 15 minutes a day, just thinking, not doing. We can't always react. We got to be proactive. And all I'm asking you guys to do is to be proactive and be in that state 10, 15 minutes a day. Maybe it's before you go to bed. Maybe it's when you get up in the morning. But instead of being reactive, be proactive. Most of what I'm talking about, you guys, is a decision to change what you're doing and managing your mind. I want you guys to start looking within and start living the life that you were meant to live. Stop looking at other people's lives being like, they're so lucky. Because you don't know their story. You only see their glory. You have no idea what they deal with on a day-to-day basis. So instead of focusing on other people's lives and wishing you had their life, let's start executing on your life. Because we all have the same capacity and the same ability to create the exact life that we want. Is it going to take think time? Is it going to take execution time? Absolutely. The problem is you just started believing your own lies. And you started believing all the other lies that other people have been telling you. And they've been telling themselves. I mean, when they tell you a lie of what's not possible, it's the lie they've been telling themselves. And they're just putting that on you. Don't let them rub off on you. It's time to take control of your life. Take massive action. And someone that's changed my life a lot, and again, I was really, really impacted by Joey and Kyle Kimbrough because I've seen their kids. I've never really spent any time with them. And you could tell a lot about a human being when you meet their kids. And I was just absolutely blown away. I had no idea. I had dinner with Ryder sitting across from me, and I just was blown away the whole time. And I told Kyle, I was like, if my kids are 50% as good and as polite and smart and driven as your kids, I would be ecstatic. And so, I wasn't expecting to go to Destin to learn this. So, you always should be open to learn from people. And Kyle has become one of my biggest mentors because the most important thing in my life is my children. And, I'm asking him 1,000 questions on like, okay, how did you get, a 14-year-old boy so respectful in this day and age and so smart and so driven? And so I just wanted to give Kyle a few minutes to close this out. I know a lot of you are on his team. He is one of the best speakers, motivators, inspirational guys that I've ever met. And so I just want to give him some time to kind of close this out and speak to you guys today. around, life and mindset, because he's got one of the best mindsets that I've ever met in my life. So Kyle, if you want to take this away, bro, I would really appreciate it.
You give people introductions that we don't deserve or can't live up to. So thank you for that. Man, you're very kind. You know what's cool? Here's what's so cool is you want to know Jay's heart. Jay meets Ryder and starts talking to him, and by the end of dinner, he's like, "That's it. We're accountability partners. We're gonna start reading books together, and we're gonna get on a call once a week, and I'm gonna start teaching you and holding you accountable." Well, for a dad, like for Jay to say that, I'm like, "Come on, man," because I know the impact that can have. And so, man, I appreciate your heart, Jay. I appreciate what you said. God is so good. No doubt. God is so good. I just want to echo a few things that you said, because again, this was a masterclass. This should be paid for. And what people, I think a lot of times don't realize, sometimes when we hear information, it's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. We don't understand if we implement certain things, our lives change forever. John Maxwell, Craig Rochelle, you name it, all of those guys, they'll tell you the same thing. Don't tell me about your future. Let me come spend a few days with you, because once you show me your habits, I'll show you your future. Your habits are your future. And guys, you either win the day or you lose the day every day, and it starts in the morning. So if you lose the morning, you're fighting an uphill battle every single day to win the day. Jay, what you just said, your cheat code on the morning routine, I tell my kids this all the time. We have our nephew living with us currently. He just graduated, and he's here and he's working and he's living with us, and we talk all the time. And I'm like, Carson, find me somebody in your life that you know that's had success that you want in any area that does not get up before most of the world and have a good morning routine. There are some, I'm not saying there's not, but not 95% of the world that has a high level of success that all of us, attain to be like, whether it's parents or marriage or spiritually or business or whatever. You can't live a successful life, in my opinion, without a successful morning routine. I think that you can live a great life, yes, but you're on here because you want the best. Like, God created you for more. You want to be better than you are today. You want more out of life. You want more impact, right? And you can't do that without a morning routine. So I'll say that as well. And then I'll say this, Jay, you were talking about the mind and how we think. And, I'm reminded of a guy that used to travel the country with Greyhound dogs, and he had 2 dogs, and he would travel. And what happened is, the night before the race, he would ask people, y'all pick whatever dog you want that you think's going to win, and I will take the opposite side, and I'll give you 5-1 odds. So they would pick, Sally, the dog Sally, and, he'd give them 5-1 odds. And he's like, all right, well, I got, her sister Sherry. It didn't matter. He would do it the next night. They could pick the next dog, the same dog. He would always take the dog they didn't pick. And so he wins every single time. Like, it's a thing. He constantly wins with whatever dog he's left with after the pick. So finally, somebody's like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? This doesn't even make sense math-wise. Like, how is this even possible? He's like, this is the easiest money I've ever made. I wait to see what dog y'all are going to pick, and that night I feed the other one. Period. You got 2 dogs in your mind. Whatever one you feed wins every single day. You're going to feed the lies. You're going to feed everything Jay just said. You're going to feed that. It's going to win. You're going to feed the fact that you can do this, that you're made for more, that there are people that need you, that there are people that will join your business, that will build this thing with you and radically change their life and your life. You know what I mean? Then that's the dog that wins. And so I just encourage you with that. And then last thing real quick is, I was in the gym today, and this guy's talking to me, and we start talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, have you ever heard of this? He's like, what's that? It's like X39, and so he hasn't heard about it. So I tell him all about it. Now listen, this is a guy he just got done telling me his story. And I'm like, I want to be your friend because he's highly successful. Like, he told me all the stuff he owns real estate wise. And I'm like, dude, I want to just sit down and have lunch with you. Highly successful. Okay. But I still tell him all about the patch. And I don't leave out the side, this is what we do full time. And it's direct sales company, whatever, knowing he has no desire to ever be a part, right? Here's what happens. This is why I was late to the call, Jay, because he wanted to meet me in the Whole Foods parking lot to get patches because he couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, yes, I'll drive and meet you. And I meet him, and I'm like, I know you don't want to do this business, but why are you asking all about it? He's like, I just dropped off my buddy. He just got done playing football for the Titans. And him and his wife would crush this, and they need this patch so bad. So I'm taking these and I'm going to him. They're probably going to be your new business partners right there. And I'm like, Prime example of all of us that prejudge people that are already wealthy and already retired, and we don't share things. And he literally leaves the gym and calls and says, "Can we please meet up? Because my buddy probably needs to join your business, and I want the patches." And so, Jay, I just echo everything you say. It's an honor to be on here. I love all of you guys. It's so cool that this group wants so much more, and I'm excited to see what happens over the next 70, 80, 90 days.
Dude, I love that you close this out. You always we're gonna do this every time because you're so good at it. Well, I just want to tell you guys, I want to end with this. Um, it's time to take control of your life. It's time to take massive action. And people are afraid of the word massive. It's not that massive of an action. It's just a lot different than the actions you've been taking. And I just want to thank you guys again, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. I know that you're taking your precious time to spend time with me, and I do not take that for granted. And I'm just so appreciative that you guys are showing up for this because that's what it takes in life. You got to show up, and if you show up, things are going to happen. So thank you guys for showing up, and thank you guys for participating and asking the questions because I know when there's 200 eyeballs looking at you, it's kind of hard to speak. And I'm just so appreciative that you guys are making this what it is because I can talk, but people hearing from you guys, like the Kylies of the world, that's what's really impactful because we're all one family, and I'm just so appreciative to be able to do this with you guys. So have a great day, you guys, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much. Kyle, thanks for such powerful words, man. I really
Thank you,
appreciate you.
brother.
See you,
People
bud.
got a lot from you today. Thank you.
See you guys.